Hello guys, Chris Hughes again coming to you, CarolinaPreps.com. The summer tour 2017 continues. I've made my way now to Western North Carolina, Jackson County, Smoky Mountain High School, and standing here next to the head football coach, Chris Brookshire. Coach, first and foremost, thanks for allowing me to come out here, spend some time, talk a lot of football with you. The hospitality, certainly appreciated.
Listen, we appreciate everything you do for the state and all the football kids and coaches. So we're just glad you're here.
Well, thank you very much. I had a chance to see you guys play one game here last year, actually on this field against Cherokee, and you certainly spread the field out. You scored a lot of points, and you was real active on offense. Can we expect that same look this year? And maybe give me your thoughts on what we could expect with this 2017 team.
We're going to be wide open, that's for sure. We try to run a play about every 18, 20 seconds, and just go as fast as we can. As fast as the kids will allow us. We'll be a little different kind of team this year just because our running back situation's a little different. We should have three guys back there that can carry it, and they're all three different. Offensive line, we got some guys we've got to replace, and we got a bunch of good young sophomores. We'll be a little bit green there, but after game one or two, they're not sophomores no more. So we'll be very similar. Got wideouts back, 3 of our 4, and quarterback who played at the end of the year's back, and has had a great offseason.
Now, last year was your first year here, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now that you've got one whole year under your belt and a complete spring to go through the spring workouts, go through the skill development stuff that the state association allows you, and to have a summer to work out, do you feel more prepared, and do you feel like this could be a better season now that you've got a whole lot more continuity with the players?
Absolutely. Our off-season weight training program was tremendous. We averaged about 75 in our 4th period class, which was huge. But the continuity of our kids and just learning the concepts, learning us, learning how the terminology and all that stuff, they're a year wiser, a year smarter. Hopefully us as coaches are a year smarter too. And our schedule, golly, we've got a great conference we play in, and we're just excited about those opportunities. But having a young team always excites coaches because of the growth potential.
Now, you're familiar with playing some big-time teams. You spent a lot of time at Irwin and Asheville, so you know good football when you see it. And I was looking at your conference, and with the realignment, the shake-up, I mean, you've got obviously Franklin and Pisgah,
right.
and you're missing a couple of them.
Hendersonville.
There you go. There's the big one.
Yeah.
And Brevard, that's some good football. East Henderson's got a good quarterback.
Absolutely.
That had moved in. I don't think that there's a really truly bad team in the league, and it's going to make the conference schedule very interesting and probably must-see football on Fridays.
Well, every week that we play, it's going to be a big game for us. Every team in the league can win, and like you said, East Henderson, we got to see that kid, and he's a specimen. He can do all kinds of things. Hendersonville brings a different dynamic. They're similar to us on offensively, and then Brevard last year had a huge turnaround. Coach did a great job out there at their school, and then obviously Pisgah is Pisgah, and Franklin is Franklin. Both those teams are going to be well coached. They've got tough, hard-nosed kids, and it's a challenge,
Right. I was going to ask you, now Pisgah and Franklin still kind of do a lot of the things they've done for a long time.
Yes.
With Coach Brooks and then Coach Chappell, they hit you hard up front, they run the ball very well. But over the course of time, the thought was that mountain teams, that's all they wanted to do is just grind you real hard, and they'd wear you down. But with your offense, and now you look at some of the other schools, Rosman's going to throw the ball. A lot of these schools throw the ball now. How have you seen the evolution of offenses change up here in Western North Carolina?
Well, it has over the course of time. We probably years ago were one of the first teams to be a full-blown spread team way back in the day, and that's evolved. But kids can run, kids can catch. It don't matter what kind of offense you're in. And last year with us, we really spread teams out, and we're able to run the football a lot. So that opens up stuff, and with the way our offense is schemed and the way we call stuff, whatever the defense does, we just try to take it. And if it's a 5-yard hitch, that's what we take.
Right. Well, who are, speaking of your offense, just tell me, for the listeners maybe around the state or the area that's not familiar with your team, who some of the young men are that stepped up as leaders, some of the return starters, some of the guys we need to look out for to get their name on the papers or in the internet or whatever. Who are the big guys?
Our quarterback, Nate Coffey, last year, his first game that he got to play, he broke practically every school record we had in passing in that one game against Pisgah. He's a returner at quarterback. Tyler Wallizer, we're expecting big things out of him at wideout. We've got a few other kids that are Andrew Coball, wideout returner, had a pretty good year last year. And Gage Kosnick. Gage Kosnick's on everybody's recruiting radar as our H-back, Mike linebacker. And right now is at Elon University right now in their camp. Up front, Blake Curtis was one of the callbacks for the Shrine Bowl Combine and had a great camp down there for the Combine. He's 6'5", 315, and can really move. So we've got some pieces. You know, the key for us, again, with kids is going to be those young kids, you know, growing up fast. So.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to mention before I cut it, and I'm always trying to get on some sort of a soapbox to talk about. I think the season's too long, the practices are starting too early. But I'm up here, and it's almost August 1st, and according to my watch, it's almost 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and it's like 75 degrees. It's beautiful. Yes. It's so amazing up here. Yeah, I probably bet you right now in Fayetteville it's probably 95. But I come up here and I think, you know, we start practice too soon, but you come up here and it's beautiful. I mean, is it like this every day?
No, sir. This field actually, the turf doesn't get hot because it's organic infield on this turf. So, you know, that's a blessing for us as far as the heat goes. And obviously being this close to the field house, we've got all the stuff we need right here. But this is going to be a great start, especially if we can get this in next week, this kind of temperature. But one thing, just going along with what you were saying about the season, you know, our season is extremely too long.
Absolutely.
I think, you know, having young kids, 14, 15-year-old kids playing 12 regular season games, coming from playing 6 or 7 from middle school is extremely too much. And then all the wear and demand we ask for these kids in off season. So there's some things that's got to be done about that because safety is paramount now.
Sure.
And you know, we want to make sure we're taking care of them year round.
You know, we can say all we want about football makes money, which it does, and it's important. And I think it's important that school systems and principals use football as a business because it does finance a lot of other things. But each and every one of these kids out here are somebody's child, and you and I are both fathers. And you've got to take that into a major account when making these rules.
Well, I think everybody fights for their own program. We understand that everybody fights for their stuff, but you're losing in other sports. I mean,
Sure.
We really are, and in a 2A school like we are, we've got to share kids. You know, I think we had 11 of the 12 basketball kids play football. Baseball team, we've got double-digit baseball players that play football. We want to make sure we got 3 sport kids, but we got to share them. We got to do it, you know, in the right way, and I think we're hurting them in the long run.
I agree with you. Well, we'll end on that note, Coach.
Yes,
I appreciate you chiming in and
Thank
for
you.
allowing us to come out here. Again, the summer football tour continues. Well, it's almost over. We're going to start for real with the practice tour Monday, but I appreciate you letting me end it in style up here this weekend, and we hope to see you through the course of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless you.
All right, again, Coach Brookshire, I'm Chris Hughes, Carolina Preps. We're at Smoky Mountain High School, and we'll catch you next time.